I've always been fascinated by how the places we live quietly shape our daily lives. Every place has its own rhythm, and lately I've been wondering what happens when we change ours. Over the years, I've watched my artist friends go on creative retreats, packing up their bags and spending uninterrupted time making art. And every time I found myself a little jealous, wishing that could be me one day. Then I realized, why someday? One thing I've been learning lately is that life is often what you make it. So I rented a little apartment, packed up my clay, and I'm setting out on a little experiment. It didn't all go as planned, but definitely a week worth remembering. Well, we are still in New York, but we're definitely not in the city anymore. Welcome to my self-made Hudson Valley artist retreat. I first moved to New York 9 summers ago. And it's so different being here. It's so quiet, it's so nice. I love New York City for a lot that has to offer, but being here, I feel like I can just feel my nervous system like, there is a cozy little area. I love that there's the window here and the light, and I'm sure this is where we'll be doing all of our art and our sculpting and doing our little artist things, writing, journaling. It's so peaceful. As you can see over here, there's also a washer and a dryer. I am so excited. I brought all my laundry here like a college kid would when they went back to their parents, and we're gonna start a load of laundry very soon. But yeah, the kitchen's just nice. It's very clean. And there's also this fun little nook from the kitchen looking out so that you get sunlight in every single room. And then in here we have, the bedroom is very basic. There's basically a bed and a dresser, and there's a cute little game. There's a cute little cat puzzle, which maybe we'll do. I don't know if I'll want to spend my time making a puzzle, but we'll see. It's, the apartment's very minimal, but I do really like it. It's very cute. And honestly, I am perfectly okay with this being a more minimal space. Honestly, I just in general prefer living in a minimal space. I feel like when there's too many things, it just kind of crowds my mind. So this is just the perfect little place for me. I also love older buildings and apartments. They have an additional charm to them, I think. I live back in New York City in a pre-war building, so I am used to living in an old building and the creaks and the cracks and the little bits of character, and there might be a big spider in that corner, but it is what it is. I'm not scared of a little spider, and I am excited for the week. I'm excited to see what we get up to. So this is where we're gonna be living for the next week. Today is Monday, and I'm here until Saturday. So that gives us 4 full days of just being here and working and living and just really immersing myself into the energy of the Hudson Valley. I love the Hudson Valley. I honestly don't ever see myself living anywhere besides the state of New York. And there's so many things I love about New York City, but also things I love about upstate New York, and both have their pros, both have their cons, but I'm definitely very happy to be up here for a little bit, be in a place that spiritually feels really good to me. I have kind of planned out the week a little bit just to make sure I'm making the best use of my time, and I don't have to then be spending my time here planning out things. I kind of already know what I'm gonna do, and some little rough plans. Very loose. We're loose. We're not gonna do anything too strict this week. And maybe, just maybe, if I'm brave enough, I might actually take my clay with me to a park or somewhere outdoors and try to actually sculpt in nature. I'm not sure. I definitely am kind of a socially awkward, anxious person, so we'll see how well the job I do actually filming outside of this apartment, especially if it's talking stuff. I'm gonna do my best. But it is already 6 o'clock, so I think the rest of this evening, I'm just gonna settle into the apartment, start some laundry, make some dinner. I also do need to edit a YouTube video that I filmed before coming here. It'd be the video you would watch before this one. So I'm probably just gonna have a chill evening, rest, try to go to bed early, and then tomorrow morning, we will dive into actually doing a little bit of sculpting. I've really been wanting to do some kind of retreat for a really long time, and I've been thinking about it, and then finally, just a few weeks ago actually, I was like, I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna do it, and so I looked on Airbnb and I found this place, and I'm staying on the main street in Catskill, and outside my windows I can literally see the Catskill Mountains out there, and it's just so quiet. It's so quiet. Okay, now that we've set up our little art work space, our claying, sculpting space. And yes, I did bring a lot of clay. I mean, I'm making new things, so I don't know exactly what colors I want. I want to be able to explore and play around and not feel limited by clay. So I just brought a lot of stuff. And then also I want to branch out into just trying to make my designs even more unique and fun and seeing how much I can expand my skills and grow. So I did also bring a mold kit, which I have some ideas for this, which I will share with you later on how I'm gonna use this, but very exciting. And then I did earlier, actually, when I was at a cafe, I posted a reel that I actually technically filmed at home before I came here, announcing that I'm gonna be doing an aquatic line. So I asked people what sea creatures, what animals do they wanna see in this line? So I figured, I haven't looked at any of those comments yet because I just posted it, I guess like 3-4 hours ago. So we're going to see what the people want. On Instagram, I already have 29 comments. When did I post this? 3 hours ago, I posted,
aquatic theme. I'm thinking axolotls, turtles, pufferfish, sharks, whales, maybe even a whale shark, and maybe an octopus. I'm about to start.
It's a little meta watching me watching myself, huh? Axolotl with a seashell on its belly, narwhal jellyfish.
Otter obviously. Turtles. Seahorse. I don't know how to do that, that'd be cool. That's a very sweet comment. Thank you so much. Pufferfish, crab or starfish, manatee. I got a lot of manatees, manta ray.
Thank you all so much. It's so many good, cool ideas, and I'm so excited. The main challenge I have sometimes with sea animals is a lot of them have like fins and tentacles and things that like stick off of their bodies, and I just have to make sure that when I make the worry stones that they're not gonna break, that they're durable, so I can't do a bunch of details that are super big. I guess I could add wire to them, but I also want to make sure I'm not making it too difficult so that I don't have to, I can still keep them as affordable as possible. Pricing the small business owner is always just complicated in general because thankfully, there's a lot of great people that understand how the pricing models of handmade work goes, but there's also a lot of people that'll just compare your prices to things that are manufactured, and those are two different things. You can't price handmade goods the same way you would price a manufactured item. But we're not at that stage yet. We're staying in the artsy creative brain. We're not getting to the business brain right now, so we're gonna start sculpting. I then spent a little time getting out and about. I went to some nice cafes, which you should see here in a second, and I journaled and I read and I drank a lot of coffee because if you know me, you know I love my coffee. And then I also went to Kingston and I got a giant bowl of delicious coconut curry udon. Literally so good. And then I went to a thrift store and I saw this and it just made me think of my childhood. So, this week didn't necessarily go quite as planned. So let me catch you up on everything. So this week I had planned to spend a lot of time outdoors, go to waterfalls, go hiking, do all the fun stuff. When I initially set out for this trip, it was a week of beautiful, sunny, perfect, low 80s degree weather. And then I was living in a smoke cloud. I really, really hope everyone up in Canada and across this part of the world is okay, because there were some really bad Canadian wildfires up north and all of the smoke basically blew down here. And for the past 2 days, we had really, really bad air quality here. Thankfully, the smoke is blowing past and we do have some sun again today. For the most part, just hunkered down. I stayed in my apartment. I did a lot of prototyping as much as I could, but it was just a little bit of a bummer, you know? And now I do really wish that I had more time here, had some more days, because also I feel like I'm finally like settling in and really getting in the groove. But today is the last day. It is Friday. And then also initially I have to check out tomorrow at 11 a.m. from this place, but then I was just gonna pack up the car and I was gonna go exploring around upstate. But there is a really bad storm rolling in tomorrow. So I'm just gonna wake up tomorrow, pack the car, and just drive back home, because I don't wanna get caught driving in the rain and the winds. And I don't think there should actually be a tornado. It's really rare up here, but I don't wanna risk being in the car when there's a storm. So I don't know, maybe this is my sign that I just need to, this was a really good first time of me trying this and doing the artist retreat, and we'll talk a little bit later about what I've learned, because I definitely do have some thoughts, and I'm very grateful I got to do this, and this is my first time, and I'm also hoping that I will have the opportunity and the funds and the resources to do this again in the near future. So my work desk has become a mess, but I also think that is a sign that it's been a productive time. I have done a lot of sculpting. I have some things on this tray. I have some things over here. Also this pufferfish, it might be my new favorite thing that I ever designed. Something about it is just so whimsical and quirky, and it's little like kissy lips. And I also just put eyebrows on this, and I also put eyebrows on my little octopus because I don't know, I was just called to. It's cute and makes them look more human. I don't know, I love it. I've been having a really fun time prototyping. I basically just locked in. I had this thought back in my mind being like, you should record this, Emma, you should record this. But at the same time, when I'm actually in like the creative process of actually like creating new things and designing them, which by the way, look at these cuties. Oh my freaking gosh, they're so cute. I lost my thought. What was I saying? Oh yeah, when I'm actually like in the prototyping process though and trying to create new things and get into that creative side of my brain, I find that it's best and easiest for me to kind of get into that flow if I just drop into the flow. And I feel like if I'm doing other things, if I'm trying to film and do something else simultaneously, it kind of pulls me out of that flow. And so I will record more of me like making these, especially once I have the final design, and I'll put some stuff on my short form, and we'll probably also do another vlog as I'm preparing for this next shop drop, which I will, bring y'all along with actually making the final designs. But I just kind of give myself the permission to just completely zone in, be in my own world, be by myself, and it was so nice. And I also recommend, if you've been wanting to get creative, that you give yourself the same grace and permission as well. So a quick rundown of the prototypes I made. Obviously, I made this little pufferfish, like, oh my gosh, can you even? And then I put a spiral back on this one. And then I made this little octopus. It has like the worstern part up top. And then obviously it has 8 little legs going around, which is also just like nice and fun to like fidget with as well. So far, I've made 2 versions of the axolotl, and I don't know if I'm fully satisfied with either, so I'll probably still keep prototyping these when I get home. Here's the first axolotl I made, and then here is the second one that I made. Again, I feel like I'm getting close. I have the idea. Something still just doesn't feel quite right. I also made a manatee. Oh my gosh, I think it's just so cute and a little derpy. And I also want to have some designs that are a little more simple so I can have like a range of different worstones at different prices. So I think this will be a lovely little addition. I played around with making some starfish. And I also just feel like the textures of these, like they're so satisfying. I went and looked at some different stores. So I looked at Michael's and I looked at Walmart. There's not a ton of stores around here, like big ones. And I couldn't find a star cookie cutter, but I want to see if I can find a star cookie cutter in the right shape, just so I can make these a little bit quicker and make them more uniform. And also, if I can make things a little bit quicker, then I can price it a little more affordable for all of y'all. So I made this turtle, which is like, I think it's a good start. I like the hearts on it because I also just like the texture of the hearts, but maybe I'll try stars, maybe I'll do something else. And then I also want to make it where the belly can be a worry stone. And so I'm playing around with making molds. And so I made this little just turtle body. It doesn't have the shell, so I'd add the shell on afterwards. And then I tried making a mold out of it. Here is what my mold looks like. I actually just made this morning, so I haven't tried out the mold yet. We'll try this out when I get home, and hopefully this works. The idea is that I put the clay in here, make the body, and then I can do the shell on top, and that way everything is shaped nice and well. So I don't know, we'll see, I'm experimenting. And then I also want to make, this has cornstarch all over it because it's also trying to make a mold out of it. I want to make a whale shark, and so I made this base of the whale shark. I think I got another clip of it not in cornstarch that I can search, but here's this. And then I tried making a mold of the back, so you know it's like that. So I need to again test out this mold when I get home. It is a absolute mess here. It is a mess of a workplace. I will have to clean this up because I gotta get out of here tomorrow morning. I don't wanna go though, I don't wanna go. And then one thing I actually did over the past couple days is I went to Michael's and I came across the felt aisle. And I've been wanting to make plushies for a long time and just get back into sewing. I used to sew a lot as a kid. I took sewing classes and my mom sewed a lot and my grandma sewed a lot, and it was just feels very comforting and almost feels like I get connected to like my mom and my grandma who has passed away when I sew and do stuff, and I don't want to get emotional, but maybe this will also just be like the first step to adding other kinds of fidgets and more like sewn fidgets and plushies to my shop. So over the past couple days, I've been sewing and making some little fidget plushies. So one of the reasons I got this idea is that I had a lot of people asking for a manta ray or a stingray, as well as a seahorse. And those are just two animals because of like their tails, especially because I don't glaze my pieces. I'm worried that if I made them with polymer clay, they would be more likely to break easily. And so I thought, why don't I try to make them another way? So far I've just made some little patterns for my little creatures. So to make them more of a fidget, I got these little wooden beads. And the ones that they had in Michael, they're so cute. Not that you're gonna see the beads ever because they're gonna be inside, but they have little like smiley faces on them. I just think they're adorable. First off, I designed this little manta ray. It has some hearts and a belly. And initially I made this seahorse using blue, but something about this didn't quite feel right. And so then I tried making another seahorse, which I think this one is just super, super cute. One side is dark pink and the other side is yellow. Oh no, I'm trying something out. I'm trying something new. Eventually, and this is like way down the line, I would love to actually get into manufacturing some kind of fidgets or just doing something so not everything is 100% handmade, because I love handmade, but it is just a lot. And I also feel like I get a lot of messages, and for this, I'm not complaining. I'm very grateful for. Whenever I get messages being like, everything's sold out, like when are you gonna restock? Like all these messages, like I feel so grateful, but at the same time, I wish I just had good, thoughtful products that I could have on my shop all the time so people didn't have to be like waiting all the time for it. And they know it's like, it's okay. It's a handmade business. It is what it is. But there's just a part of me that's like, I think it's my caregiver. Like I always want to be able to like care and provide and give the people what they want. But I also obviously have to take care of myself and do what's good for me. And with handmade, there's only so much that I can do, and that I can do healthfully. That's like the big kicker. So I basically been doing artsy things all day since like 10 o'clock, and it is now 4:23. But it is my last night here, and I do want to take advantage of being upstate and getting outside a little bit. And one town I really want to explore for a long time is Woodstock, New York. I've never been there before, which feels crazy, but I've never been to Woodstock. And so I want to go there this evening, go get myself a nice dinner and just walk around the little town, check it out. I'm going to just quickly finish up at least some of these little plushies because I just want to see what it's like to put the bead and the stuffing in. And then we're going to put on a cute fit, and we're gonna go have a nice solo date night in Woodstock. done. I honestly love it. And obviously I know I'm biased because I created it, but I just think it's so stinking cute. And I did add 3 of those wooden beads. There's one right here, there's one right here, and there's one down here. And it's just like getting to move them around. Oh my God. It's so satisfying. I want to play around with it and make sure that the felt itself is gonna like last. Oh my gosh. Oh my God. What if I want to get a sewing machine and I want to do this with like just all of the soft fabrics. Are we entering a new era, y'all? Don't worry, polymer clay is not going anywhere. We're still gonna sculpt. Don't worry. But also, the amount of times I say don't worry in my every single day life is just, it's so not even ironic. I don't know. I just say don't worry all the time. Don't worry. Life's gonna be okay. We're gonna figure it out. I love my little manta ray. I hope you love the little manta ray too. Potentially my new favorite thing. I love it that I made. That and the pufferfish and the whale warrior stone though are also 2 of my other favorite things. Is it cringe how much I love my own stuff? I don't think so. I think we should all like be our own biggest cheerleaders and like be really proud and love the things we make and create. And I figured I'd get a little cute for the last night here. I'm just dressing for myself because that's what we should all do, just dress for ourselves. I also feel like my Vermonter upstate New Yorker is coming out in this outfit, although I am going to tie it together with my docs because you gotta have a little edge still. We're gonna have like a little bit of it. And then bring my bag. I also wanna take my book and my journal. One little tip is that if you're ever going out to like solo dine, I know sometimes it can feel a little intimidating. So I always recommend just taking a book or a journal and you can just like read while you're having dinner or like be journaling on the side and you just kind of look like that cool, mysterious person in the corner. Like, ooh, what's she doing by herself? What's she writing? What's she reading? And you might just kind of look a little cool doing your solo things. I'm very much an introvert and I love doing my solo things, and I've done solo things pretty much my whole life. It's kind of what I love doing. So if you're new to it, I recommend it. It might be uncomfortable at first. Sometimes it's still uncomfortable for me, but in general, it's good. We'll still have a nice dinner and we'll just wander around town and go for a nice drive. I love just driving around here and looking at the woods and the nature, and it'll be a good time. Yeah, let's go. Sometimes I don't know how to stop talking. So as you can probably tell at this point, I was a little nervous and socially awkward trying to film out, so I just got some little clips as I can. I will get better at this and I will practice and push myself out of my comfort zone more in the future. But look at that cute little Woodstock little shop, and here's a little downtown. It is very tiny, very quaint and cute, and there's the Catskills. Like, oh my God, if I could look at the mountains every single day, I love it. And then this is a little cafe. Well, it's a restaurant that I went to for dinner. You could see the mountains in the background. There's a gorgeous backyard. This is a nice like tofu steak and a bread pudding's all vegan and delicious. We are back in Brooklyn, back in my little home studio. I'm actually making some little whale sharks. I got the molds that I made back when I was the residency, and I actually went in and I like sanded down the molds so it would be nice and smooth and easy to put the clay in and remove the clay, I guess. It doesn't stick as much when it's smooth. And I am making so many little cute whale sharks. We have some things to catch up on. It's a couple weeks later from when I was actually at the residency, and the shop drop is literally happening in a couple of days. When I'm filming this, I actually just finished editing the rest of the vlog, everything else you saw before this. And so I had some nice reflection time. So we're just gonna chat about it, talk about how it went, and then I'm gonna show you what all of the final worry stones showed up as, that's not the right word, the final designs of the worry stones for the shop drop, which will be on Saturday, August 1st, which when I'm filming this right now is in 2 days from now. And it's probably, because I'm going to probably edit this video tonight and then post it tomorrow, and then you're going to see it and the drop's going to happen. And it's going to be a bit of a smaller drop. I've had a bit of a mental health, just weird week. I have been having a really hard time focusing and just feeling sad. And so I've been slowing down and trying to take care of myself and not push myself too much. There will also be a shop restock, most likely August 22nd, maybe the 26th. We'll see when we get a little closer to that and how this drop goes. But too much chatting. Let's come over here and we'll chat a little bit more. Oh, also, I did cut my bangs last night. I have the bangs back. I always am like, I'm gonna grow out my bangs. And then I start growing out my bangs, and instantly I'm like, I don't feel like myself without bangs, and then I just cut the bangs again. So we are back to the bangs. So to make this next part of the video a little more visually fun to watch, I'm actually gonna go ahead and put clips of what like the final worry stone designs ended up being over top of this. You can kind of see the cute worry stones, see what we made, while I kind of chat about what I thought about the retreat and what I would probably do differently next time. So first off, I think it's really lovely to have a retreat, like just to get a new space, and also just to get away from like your normal monotonous daily tasks and to-dos and be able to just like focus on yourself and focus on your art is so important. The other thing I will say is that my creativity and my energy levels are very connected to my menstrual cycle. And for me, the week before my period is always pretty rough and like mentally not my best. And I didn't realize when I was planning it, but I literally planned the retreat for exactly my like worst PMS days. So in the future, I would probably try to plan off my cycle a bit better. So that way I am there during my most like energized and creative weeks, just so I can take more advantage of it. But overall, I think it was a great experience and I'm very grateful I got to do it. I think that I would love to like go live up there for like a month sometime if I could ever afford it and make it work out my life and like go up there and just create and work and live for like a month and like really settle in, really be in a different world. But that is also me just dreaming. I like to dream big. I like to dream big and not put, I don't know, I'm trying in general in my life. I feel like I've often put a lot of limiting beliefs on myself and had like a scarcity mindset. And I feel like obviously this is easier for me to say now because I have, with growing my business, I have some like proof of like, oh wow, like things that I didn't think were possible are totally actually possible. And so I'm trying to also just find other areas of my life, both with my business and also my personal life and just my relationship with myself and other people, trying to remove that scarcity mindset and remove my limiting beliefs and just really try to embrace life and embrace the possibilities. And there's so much about my life that's always uncertain, and so much is uncertain for all of us all the time, but trying to really practice finding the excitement in that and finding the positive sides to that. And obviously it's much easier said than done. And also for me, I feel like when it comes to my brain, my relationship with myself, it is a constant work in progress. I feel like I'm rambling now, but I really hope that you liked the final worry stones that I came up with. And thank you so much for being here and watching this video and supporting this journey. I definitely wouldn't have been able to do this whole trip and have my business and do all these cool things without also my YouTube community. And I love YouTube and I want to do more videos. It takes a lot to edit and do it, but I really, really, really want to try to do at least 2 videos a month. We'll see. We'll see. I'm just taking it as it comes and rolling with the punches and learning as I go, which is all we can ever do. Ooh, the last lesson I'll say is that I think I was a little ambitious with my schedule and all the things I wanted to do and the things that what I wanted to make the retreat. I think I kind of wanted to make it feel like this bigger, all-encompassing thing than it could actually be, just because there's only so much time and resources and things that we can do with our life. And I think if I was to do another artist retreat, I would actually lower my expectations for it, so that way I can live more present and I can go a little slower and I can really dive in and embrace moments I really want to and not feel like, oh, but now I need to like do this thing, I think, or I should go do this, and creating a more focused but less intense kind of agenda for myself. Anyways, I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let's chat down in the comments because I'm chatting to you all the time. I want to like chat. I want to hear from you too, and I want to chat back and forth. And I guess I'll see you soon in the next video. Sign-offs are always hard. Goodbyes are always hard for me too. I never want to say goodbye to people. It's always just like, yeah. Anyways, I will see you very soon in the next video. Bye, friends.